Hi everyone, today I wanted to share how to make this cute little windmill cookie holder, and it works. So I wanted to show you some tips on getting this nice little spinning to work, and how to make this box. And my main point that I want to show you is how to figure out the sizes for the box based on what you're going to put inside of it, because you can make this little area any size you need. So this is super easy to adapt. And anyway, I wanted to show you this. I made these for the Stamp Camp attendees, so this was something everybody got to take home, and I think it was super cute. The box is easy and the windmill is easy, so let's put this together. This cookie is a windmill cookie. This one's from Archway. I don't know if you can see the windmill. These cute little cello bags are from Stampin' Up. I always like to keep cello bags on hand. I always have some because you just never know when you need, like, a teacher appreciation is coming up or different things like that. Little party favors. So these little cello bags are always good to have. They're food safe. This is a store-bought cookie that I've put in there, but you can use those for things that you make as well. So look at those bags that are in the catalog. And then I'm not using any stamps from the Tulip Fields stamp set. This stamp set is from the Spring Mini, so it's available from January to June. And I'm not using any stamps this time. I've made some fun cards with these flowers. These are really fun because you kind of have these like fields of flowers. It's hard to tell from the image here, but they make these flowers that kind of look like they're going off into a distance. It's kind of a fun one-point perspective drawing, or look to it. Real cute anyway. But the dies are so fun because you can make a spinner card, or in my case a spinner treat packaging. And I love the bike. That's probably one of the favorite parts of this little die. And these cute little fences, so cute. It's really adorable. I think I've shared some cards that we've made, but I want to show you real quick. It's part of this mega suite. There's real cute spinner cards, but I wanted to show you what that stamp looked like, because you can, it's like these fields of flowers and they're kind of going off in rows, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's adorable, and it's on the cover. There's paper that matches it, tulips, and we're going to use that. And so anyway, this is it. So I need one of these little windmill, what is that part called? I'm not sure. If you know, tell me. So we're going to use one of those. And then I cut out this kind of detailed windmill, and then also a background solid windmill. And I cut them out, and I also cut out this little acetate circle. It's clear so you can't see it, but it's there. I cut this out by using our adhesive sheets. So I ran it through, and I should have waited to do that on the camera, so I'm sorry about that, but I ran this one through with Early Espresso cardstock, and I put a sticker sheet on the back side of the cardstock, and that way when I ran it through, this turned into a sticker. All I had to do was peel the backing off and stick it straight down onto the crumb cake layer. And that's something that we have in our catalog. It's a great product. It's a sticker adhesive sheets, I think they're called, and they're in the adhesives page. So let me find that. We have a brand new catalog. Have you looked at it yet? Gorgeous. And I am not familiar with what page things are on yet, but let me find the adhesives page. Maybe. There we are. Okay, so I want to make sure that we still carry it. I'm sure we do because it's a great product. Yes, adhesive sheets, and they come 6 by 12 is the size. You get 12 sheets of them, and then you just peel off the back and put it on your cardstock, and it's like got backing on both sides. So then when you're done cutting it, you peel off the other backing. And I should have waited to do that with you, and I'm sorry that I did not. I wasn't thinking. Okay, I wanted to have this part done because all I really want to talk about is how to put together a box easily. Okay, so I knew I wanted to use these cookies in my treat packaging. I love the windmill, perfect. These remind me of my Aunt Jean, who is no longer with us. She would have been 100 or so by now, but she was my great Aunt Jean, and she always had windmill cookies in a cookie jar whenever we stopped by to visit, and so this totally reminded me of her. So I bought these from the grocery store. They're Archway. I saw a couple different brands. Vortman also had a windmill cookie, but I liked the Archway ones. they had a more detailed windmill. So I love this one. And then what I did is I kind of figured out how many people were coming. I was able to fit 3 in this little cello bag, which is another thing I always like to have on hand. Cello bags from Stampin' Up! Are awesome. You never know when you're going to need a teacher appreciation gift, a little party favor, some little snack. These little adhesive bags are food safe and really cute. Always keep those on hand. And anyway, so what I did is I put 3 in each bag and kind of tied it with a ribbon. And then I wanted to see, okay, what do I need for my box? Now you could give a gift like this and just put a tag on it. And that's great. But I wanted something that would stand up and it's all by itself. And I thought a little box would do the trick. So what I do is I take it and I always work on this grid paper. But you can use a ruler, whatever you've got. Grid paper's nice. You can buy this actually at Stampin' Up! And it's nice for when you're measuring out something. So what I do is I kind of put it on my paper. So if you can see that it's within the 3-inch, so here's 0 to 3. So I knew if I made my box 3 inches long that it would fit. Okay, now you could make it super tight. I could have probably squished it into a little smaller, but you want to have a little bit of wiggle room in there, but not too much because you don't want it falling out. Okay, and then I turned it on its side and I said, okay, what can I fit it in here? So here's the 0. Where's my other closest line? Is 1.5. So I need it 3 inches by 1.5. And then you need a lip so that when you fold it all together, you need something that overlays. So I always add a 1/2 inch. You can add 3/4 of an inch, you know, whatever you need. Okay, so that is my dimensions that way. And then you need to have a bottom to flap, bottom flap. So how you come up with that is you need to make sure, so you need to look at this measurement, right? This was 1.5 inches. So I can't make this smaller than, I can make it 1 inch, right? Because if this is 1 inch and this is 1 inch, then I have a 1/2 inch overlay because this is 1.5 inches. I can't make this any smaller than 1 inch or there won't be enough paper here on top of each other to put adhesive. And you don't want it too long because then it goes all the way over and you don't need it. So you don't need a full 1.5 inches. So you need it more. So kind of take this measurement and do a little more than half. So my flap is 1 inch, which gives me plenty of room to add adhesive. I hope that makes sense. It'll make sense as we put it together. Okay, and then I wanted to cover it in some pretty paper. So I liked this side. Oh, you have to also look at how tall you want your box to be. So this also depends on what you're putting in here. If you're putting in a tall lotion, you might want it to be a little bigger. You want it to be tall enough so that it's not, if it was too shallow, it might, your package, whatever's inside here, could flop out. So you want it to be at least maybe half. So I looked at that, and I don't count this part. And you kind of look at that. It's a little less than 4, so I made it 2 inches. So this is a way for you to be able to figure out how to make any base you need. So I've got it 2 inches, 3, 1.5, and then a lip. Okay, so I wanted to do pumpkin pie. I love these tulips. They're so pretty, and pumpkin pie looks great with them. So, and I have a tip for this windmill too, because you can see it's very delicate. So hold on a second, we'll get to that. Okay, so I took this, and you have to add up. Now, what did we say we had? We had 3 inches plus 1.5 plus 3 inches plus 1.5, so that's 9, and then a lip, so 9.5. So we need to cut our paper at 9.5. And then we said we wanted it to be 2 inches tall with a 1 inch lip. So I needed 2 inches plus 1 inch, so 3 inches. So I've got it 9.5 by 3. Okay, so now we're going to score that 1 inch lip that we talked about. Okay, and then I like to just kind of work my way down. Let me see if you can see this on camera. We said we needed a 3 inch side, and then a 1.5 inch side. And now we need another 3 inch side, so that's going to take us, we're at 4.5, so it's going to take us to 7.5. And then we need another 1.5, so that'll get us to 9. And then that leaves us with that 1/2 inch lip. Okay, now for when you put your box together, you need to cut your flaps. And so here's our flap. Now I like to cut a slight angle out of my flap. Just see a slight little angle, which means that I'm going to put a kind of a triangle on this one. And the reason for that is if I had cut them perfectly straight, See how that goes in just a slight bit? That way I've got nothing sticking over the edge. I've got a nice straight edge. No little, you know, sometimes it's not perfectly, you've not cut perfect or measured perfect. And if you had made it straight cuts, you might not have that clean edge. So that tiny little angle is going to make sure that nothing's sticking over the side. It doesn't have to be a huge angle, just something a little bit. These look bigger because it's actually on both sides of that cut. So it's an angle for this side and an angle for that side. Okay, and then I've got my flap. So that's how you cut your ends. Okay, now because this is a box that's going to hold something strong, you want something strong, a strong tape. I've got tear tape, works really great. I've still got some fast fuse in my house, so we're going to use something strong. So I like, oh, I'm at the end of the roll. That's okay. All right, so we're going to use some tear tape. So you don't want to use your snail. Liquid glue is perfect for this. I like tear tape because it dries instantly. You know, it's already dry. But liquid glue, if you just hold it for a second, it'll dry pretty fast. So here, you're just going to take all those little scores that we made and fold along them. Okay, and then you're going to meet your box. Now here's where that flap I was telling you about, how I cut that angle. This way you know you don't have any weird bits, you know, sticking over the top. It's nice and flat. See? All right, now for the bottom, you're going to add some tear tape also. So we only need one side to have the tear tape on it on the bottom flap. Okay, and then if you want, you can add a little bit. It's going to go like that, so I need that tear tape on that one. If you wanted to add some on these small ones, you could do that as well. So let's do that, just so that we know our box isn't going anywhere. Okay. There we go. Okay, so then you're going to fold these little ones in. You're going to fold in the one that has the adhesive on it, and then you're going to finish it all off with that one that doesn't have any adhesive. Now turn it over and grab your bone folder. If you don't have a bone folder, this is an awesome tool, but maybe grab your scissors, something you can get in there. And really seal that down. Okay, there's that. Now this one I already scored exactly the same way. I have that 1/2 inch flap, and then I've got that whole 3. Remember I was saying I needed 3, I needed 1.5 inches, 3 1.5 inches, and then a little flap. So I've already done that. And then you're going to kind of start with the little 1/2 inch flap, and I'm going to throw some adhesive on that, and then I'm going to put some adhesive on the top and bottom. Okay, so I'm going to start on that little 1 inch flap and put that on the edge like this, and kind of hold it while I wrap my box. And then we've got a nice little covered box, and that looks really cute. All right, let's do this windmill. Now I think I told you that I had this piece and this piece, and I had a little clear circle, which I have lost because it's clear. So let me find it. I wonder if you can see it in the video because it might be shiny or something. And then you could say, Beth, it's on the left corner, or something like that. I totally don't see it, so I'll just cut another one. Nope, it is gone. Alright, I'm going to cut another one. It's just an acetate circle, and I'll show you why I cut it. I think it's kind of important for this one. Okay, this is a piece of acetate. Stampin' Up! Calls them a window sheet or transparency paper, whatever you want to call it. And you can't really cut this well with a paper punch. It kind of gets stuck, because it's plastic. It kind of curls up and it gets stuck in the paper punch. It's kind of irritating. So I'm going to use a die, and I'm just grabbing one of my layering circles here, and I'm going to cut that. Okay, so I've got that. All right, now the reason why I did that is because I find that this windmill, see, it's already kind of, the spokes on here, I guess you'd call it a spoke, they're so thin. And you want your windmill to turn, right? Because that's the fun thing about a windmill. So I am going to stick it on this clear piece. And that way it's got some extra strength, and so that it can turn and not break. Another thing you can do is do this in 2 layers. You can make 2 of these and stick them together so it's thicker. You could totally do that too. I did it this way. I think it just gives it even more strength than 2 layers of paper, so that's what I'm going with. Now I need to get it onto my clear piece, and I didn't want to wait for liquid glue to dry. So I'm using glue dots, and all I'm going to do is take the glue dot and just kind of make it into a instead of being a circle, I'm rolling it so it's oblong. And on the back, see how these, I don't know what you call this part, the paddle, I don't know, but the blade, I'm going to stick it here where it's thicker. See, I rolled it up and I fit it just right there. I'm going to roll this one, and you want to do all 4 spikes, spokes, blades, whatever they're called. Okay, so I got that on there, and then I'm going to go ahead and stick down my piece of acetate. There, so I've reinforced the blades. And now I need a hole in the center. So you can do, if you've got a hole punch, that's great. If you don't have a hole punch, you can take your pick tool and make a hole. I like this because I can make it kind of big, because I can push it down a little further. You can go like that. Okay, and then you're going to need a brad. Okay, now there was already a hole in this detailed windmill, but there wasn't one in this one, so I kind of already did that little sticky thing, poked a hole through it with my take your pick tool. So I'm going to put that in here, and I'm going to stick that in here, and then just open the edges like so, and I want them to stay behind. There we go. And then now it spins and it's reinforced, and I don't have to worry about it breaking. Okay, so now all I'm going to do here is pop this up on some dimensionals just so it stays off the box just a tiny bit. Just make sure that you kind of measure where that's at and don't put any, so I learned that I don't want any past this little line here. And there you have it, cute little box for your windmill cookies or any other treats you might need. Works perfectly. I hope that you enjoyed the video and got some tips, and I hope you'll take a look at this windmill die. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.